So let's start right here at home. Who here is from Texas? I grew up around here. All right, we got a few Texans over here. So I'm gonna put on this hat. You might recognize this over here. So this is one of my favorite barbecue joint meat church. Right now I'm watching hashing. So Texas barbecue is a religion. Y'all know that. All right? So I'm gonna preach a little bit. Its deity is beef, right? What's the beef? The Holy Trinity. What are the whole trinities of Texas barbecue? Call it out. Salt, pepper, smoke. Post smoke. All right. Texas post smoke. So you ask for a side of steak, sweet molasses sauce, at an authentic central Texas barbecue joint. You know what's gonna happen, right? They're gonna look at you and they're gonna politely ask you to leave. So why? Why is that? It's not just a preference, it's actually history. And I didn't know about this until I did some research into it. In the late 19th century, the Germans and the Czech butchers actually immigrated into central Texas. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that, right? So they opened up meat markets, right? Did anyone have a refrigerator back then? No. So with no refrigeration and without modern refrigeration, the unsold meat was spoiled very quickly. So we got the holy cow over here, okay? So you save the holy cow, you throw a lot of spices on it, right? And then what do? You put them in the smoker, right? And all the leftover meat was in the smoker to preserve them. Well, that turned out into Texas barbecue. So because the butcher shops were not restaurants, they don't have knives and plates and forks. So typically when you go to a great barbecue place, what do they serve you out of? Butcher paper, right? Mm-hmm. You ever see that? Yeah. So they use that to smoke it. But yeah, typically in the olden days, you get a butcher paper with some meat and you get a knife. You don't get a fork because they're not a restaurant. So that survival strategy from 150 years ago is exactly why today we're willing to stand in line for 3 hours, right? In 100 degrees heat and eat brisket off of a piece of paper. And, we love it, right? So that's Texas over here, and if you haven't tried the holy cow, it is very good. All right, so we're gonna travel next to Tennessee. All right, I'm gonna put my Tennessee hat over here. All right, so Texas is a rugged, minimalistic cowboy. Memphis is kind of like a jazz musician. It's vibrant, complex, and heavily focused on what are they known for? Sauce, and not beef. What do they like? Pork, that's right. So they put dry rub with paprika, garlic, onion powder on everything. They do. And they put pork on everything, including nachos and spaghetti, which I've never had pork spaghetti, but I guess that's what they do. So why the difference? Why is it different over there? Well, geography. Geography is the main thing. Memphis was founded as a massive, bustling port city on the Mississippi River. So we know that the rivers there is a major hub for American shipping lanes. The local cooks and African-American pitmasters had direct access to what? Spices, right? There's a treasure trove of imported goods coming up from the Caribbeans and the coast. So that's why you have all the molasses, refined sugar, tomatoes, and exotic spices, right? So I brought this right here, Mike's hot honey, all right? It's good on everything. And sometimes I put this on my fried chicken. I put it on my pulled pork, and it's amazing. So a lot of exotic spices. So Texas cook had to rely on what's raised underneath their feet, the dirt that in the ground, and then just very simple ingredients. Wood, a lot of wood. Memphis cook had the world delivered to their docks. So the sweet, tangy sauce isn't just a recipe; it's actually a map of an old American trade route. That's where it came from. All those cultures right over there. All right. So we're flying off from Memphis right now. We're going to the last spot, which is going to be the Southwest. All right. So the Southwest, and I was just there a couple weeks ago. I'm going to put my big hat right here. All right. Spent the weekend trekking Santa Fe for the first time. It was a great place over there called Cowgirl. And you know what I had to do? I had to eat the barbecue, right? All right, so I went to Cowgirl and I ordered barbecue. Now out there, the conversation is very different. They don't ask you if you want sauce or, don't ask you about molasses or anything like that. They're going to ask you red or green. Y'all know what that is, right? Sauce. It's the sauce. It's the chili. It's either red or green, or for me, I'm a gringo. I like Christmas. I like them both. Okay. Yeah. So that is born out of the necessity of the high desert, right? It's a collision of three different cultures: indigenous Indian population, the Spanish settlers, and then the cowboy and trail drivers. They all kind of grew into each other and blended in to make that sharp flavor of high heat. Okay. So barbecue is just amazing. Next time you eat barbecue, think of kind of the history of it, right? Barbecue's oral history is written in sauce, smoke, and spice. So try different styles, embrace the flavor, and remember, history has never tasted so good.